All right, everybody. Here we go, episode 9. Your roadmap to success. What GPS are you using? That would be my phone sliding. Find a better way to get it up there. That looks pretty good. Scoot me back just a little bit. Welcome as you guys come on. 5 people. All right, so your roadmap to success. What GPS are you using for your mapping to succeed? That's what we're going to be talking about today. I planned on being outdoors. I don't like doing these indoors. I just feel it's kind of boring. But they are doing construction work outside where I had planned to be. So here we are heading inside again. Let's see here. Just want to check. I got the phone going sideways. Looks like I've got everything on good there. Fantastic. If you guys would, if somebody would type in and let me know that you can hear me okay, that would be appreciated. Okay? And don't forget, since you've logged on, first thing, if you would reach right down there into that corner and hit the share button, I would appreciate it. Thank you, Casey. Oh, I got a plant behind me. Yes, it's kind of outdoors. It's fake, though, but hey, it looks good. All right, everybody. So, your GPS system, your roadmap to success. I've been talking a lot about this lately with my clients, so it's like to them they might feel like we're kind of beating a dead horse, but it's a great topic and it's something I want to share. It's interesting. I used to have 3 things kind of on my roadmap to success, and I've recently increased it a bit after having a conversation with my good friend Chris Waters. And he had used the analogy of a baseball diamond, and the first, second, third, and home plates were a couple of different things. And so I thought, you know what, my 3 really does need to be 4. And as I talked to Chris about it, I kind of came up with an idea. And so I'm going to write that here for you right now. It's pretty technical. If you would, I'd like everybody to get out a piece of paper and draw a big cross in the middle of the piece of paper so that you can have 4 quadrants to the page. High-tech stuff going on right here, okay? So if everybody would do that and draw those 4 quadrants, that'd be a great idea. Now, I'm not going to write on here. If I do write on here, I can write the word hello, and then if I put it up here, it's backwards, because that's how Facebook Live works. So I'm not going to write on here anymore, because it wouldn't do any good. You couldn't read it. It'd be backwards. Unless you're dyslexic, you're out of luck. So draw the square, and then every once in a while just talk to and point to it and reference it, but I'm not going to be writing anything else. You're going to be doing the writing today. Okay, so your blueprint for success. All successful businesses, I don't care if you're selling vacuum cleaners, tires, earbuds, real estate, loans, anything and everything. You have to, it all starts with one thing first, and that one thing is lead generation, right? So that would be over here in the first square, according to this thing, so I'm backwards, square number 1 over here. Lead generation. If you don't have any leads coming in, if you don't have any leads to work with, you've got no business. Doesn't matter what business you're in, you've got no business. So you've got to do some lead generation. So if you write lead generation up here, this would be an area for you to write down all the different ways that you generate leads. Now for some of you, because I just did this 3 times, you thought to yourself, holy crap, I don't have 3 columns of how I generate leads. I have 3 things of how I generate leads maybe. But you need to come up with a solid lead generation plan. That's number 1. Numero dos. Since we're in Southern California, for all of my fantastically awesome Hispanic real estate agents, I am bilingual as well, as you can tell. Right over here, lead conversion. Now, if you're a business and you're really good at getting leads, and then you can't convert those leads into business, then you're out of business, right? Again, business plan, no matter what business you're in. You need to have the leads, you need to convert them. You can't convert them if you don't have them, and if you have them, you can't convert them. Either way, out of business. So lead conversion. What do you do? And that might be like 5 rows. What do you do to convert leads? What do you do to convert leads? What's your plan for lead conversion? Okay? And yes, 4, 5, 6 columns here, because you've got to have a lot of varied ways of communicating and following up with people. We've talked about that more like trilingual. Yes, I am trilingual. I like that joke. I'm trilingual, everybody. I speak English, I speak Spanish, Well, I don't speak either of them well, but I try on both. That's the new joke, Lucas. I like it. All right, so lead generation, lead conversion, second quadrant. We're going to talk a little bit more about what goes in there in just a second, but I want to get all the quadrants listed out. Now, I used to have, like I said, I used to have one other thing, and it was basically like, okay, what makes me different? And in talking with my buddy, I realized that it really did need to be separated, and so it's what makes me different here. Not across the whole bottom. It's no longer a triangle or three things, right? It's four. Differentiation goes right here. What makes me different than all of the other real estate agents out there in the world? Because, now we're in Southern California here. And if you're in Southern California and you don't have at least 3 really good friends who are real estate agents, then you must be a jerk and nobody likes you. Because it's practically impossible in Southern California to not have at least 3 really good friends who are real estate agents. And in other parts of the country, it's not quite that bad, but there are lots of agents everywhere. And so what makes you different? Now, I used to put the value I offered in that differentiation, or the differentiation was included in the value. Here's how I'm different. And I've separated those two out now. Okay, so what makes you different than the other agents? You need to put that here. Maybe that would just be 1 column. Possibly 2, but maybe 1 long column. A lot easier than these guys up here. And then the 4th one. What value do you bring to your clients? What customer service, concierge service, what kind of... my friend Kendall just recently came back from a training where we talked about Ninja customer service, and I can't wait for her to tell me more about that. I don't really know anything about it other than it's got like the coolest name I've heard. What kind of ninja customer service might you offer? What kind of value do you provide to everybody else? So you've got lead gen, lead conversion, what makes me different, and what kind of value. And a lot of people get confused with these two down here. And I even used to get confused. I had them lumped together. What makes you different? Yes, it could be I offer this value. Or what brings you value? I'm different because of this. But it's really 2 different things. Value is more from a customer service standpoint, right? More from a information, resource, advocate, ninja. Here for you, okay? Well, differentiation, although ninja could be different. I don't think there's a lot of black-clad ninjas running around selling real estate. Ninja could be different. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, hey, I do this thing. I don't know. Every market's going to be different. I stage. Here's how I market. Here's how I market better. Here's how I strategize better. Whatever it is. What makes you different than all of the other agents in your marketplace that they could be talking to? Because if you are trying to sell yourself, because that's what you're selling, by the way. You're not selling houses. We're on a listing appointment. You're not selling houses. When you're meeting with buyers, you're not selling, especially for the first time, you're not selling houses. You're selling yourself. You are the product. And so why should they buy you? Okay? What makes you different? What value do you provide? Now, none of that matters if you weren't able to find the leads, generate the leads up here, and if you weren't able to convert the leads to appointments here, then you don't ever have to worry about being different or providing value because you never got in front of people. So you've got to do these things, but you've also got to provide these things to keep them and close them. All right, so those are the 4 quadrants. Really hard to see in this light, I know. Right? The 4 quadrants. That is your blueprint. That is your roadmap. That is your GPS system for success. Very simple. My gosh, can you believe that you could run your business on one piece of paper with a square drawn in the middle? Some of you might be techie and like actually break out a computer and make it nice and fancy and orange and color code and it can flash and have animations. I get it, but really, this is all you need. So let's talk about lead generation real quickly. What can you do to generate leads? What can you do to generate leads? Okay, you can, actually let me back that up. Back up. scoot a little bit closer to the camera. I can't because now I'm too close. What can you do to generate leads? Let's do that again without banging my head into the TV. I talked to a couple of my clients yesterday. We had a little mini mastermind about this. And this is an old standby that trainers have talked about forever. There's really 3 ways to generate leads, is what was available 20 years ago, they would tell you. And it's somewhat still accurate today, except there's a little bit of break-offs here. You can, 1, work for those leads. You can go and cold call. You can go and door knock. You can go and be like the open house king and queen and doing open houses all the time. All right, you can go out and find the leads. That's one way to get the leads. It is the most inexpensive way to get the leads when it comes to money. It is the most expensive way to get the leads when it comes to time, because that's what it is, time versus money. All money is good for is for buying our time back. That's in life. We buy cars because we don't have to walk places, take buses, we get there faster. All right, money gives us back our life. Right? And that's the same in looking for leads. So you can go out and get them. Most expensive in terms of time, least expensive in terms of dollars if you're on a tight budget. You can call, you can knock, you can open house till the cows come home. Okay, then the second thing you can do, you can buy it. And that's where it gets a little bit different, because buying business today is a lot different than buying business used to be. I'm going to come back to that one in a sec, because I want to do number 3 because it's a very fast one. And then we'll come back up to number 2. Or you can wait for it to come to you. And that's never been a good model. That was not a good model in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, or now in the whatever the heck we are in, the teens of the 2000s. Waiting for the business to come to you has never been a tried and true model for success. So I don't think waiting is a way. Like, you're just going to wait for somebody to call you. You're going to wait for somebody to randomly, like, knock on your door. Waiting traditionally used to be floor time. Floor time in some markets can still yield some results. In most markets, it will not. So waiting for it to come is an available way to do the business, but it's a very poor way to do the business. So let's move back up to number 2, buying your business. Buying your business used to be rather simplistic when this idea first came out in the 70s and the 80s and 60s, 70s, 80s was being talked about. Buying your business really meant, like, am I going to advertise on bus benches? Am I going to advertise in a newspaper? That was kind of advertising, buying, that was really being done. Wasn't a lot of it being done, but some of it was being done. All right, now there's a lot of different ways to buy that business. You can buy that business through branding, right? That'd be way number 1. Your branding and your presence. You can buy the business by working in a geographic area and having a great brand and a great presence, okay? And that would be, in a farm, constantly in that farm, doing events, sending them mailers, putting those silly, ridiculous flags up in their yards at the 4th of July. Not a fan of that one, as you just heard, but people do it. You can be maybe advertising, and depending on the size of the farm, the periodicals that are there. You can be involved in that farm school events with all the parents, especially the elementary schools, because they're real involved. So you can buy your business through presence and exposure and branding, right, in a geographic area. That's one. You can buy your business through targeted ads that are available to us now on social media and stuff. You can do Facebook. You can do Google AdWords. You can run your own ad campaigns. You can send them to landing pages. I mean, there's all these different things you can do. You still run it. You just kind of pay, buy the technology, pay for the hosting, buying the hosting, I guess you'd say, and kind of run the show yourself. And that's another way that you can buy business. And then the third way is you can just straight up buy leads. Like back in the 80s, the Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross kind of days, you weren't buying leads like that. We didn't have the ability as real estate agents to buy the good lists, the Glenn Gary lists, right? But today, you can really just buy lists. You can buy leads from Zillow, from Realtor.com, from Zerple. I could literally probably name companies until we all went to dinner. So many different places that will sell you leads today that you can just buy the leads instead of having to prospect, cold call, door knock, open house for them. Maybe that's easier than running your own marketing campaigns using the landing pages and everything else. Maybe you don't have time to brand a farm or work in a geographic area. But you see how buying your business is kind of like three-pronged now? It might even be more, but those are the three that really come to mind. So in lead generation now, we go back onto here. In lead generation, which ones are you doing? Are you doing one? And what parts of one are you doing? Are you doing two? And which one of the twos are you doing? And are you waiting for it at all? And if so, how? Right? So fill in all those ways for how you can generate leads. And then take a look at those leads and figure out, how am I going to convert those leads? Because I'm going to convert an open house lead potentially different than I'm going to convert a Zillow lead. And I'm going to convert a Zillow lead potentially different than I'm going to convert somebody who I captured off of my Facebook landing page to find out what their home value lead was. So what is your plan, short-term and long-term? Short-term meaning 7 to 10 days. Long-term meaning 1 to 2 years. What is your plan to convert those leads? Because some of them are hot and some of them are not. There's only two types of leads, everybody. Hot and not. So what's your plan for converting? That's why you might need so many different columns here, because it's a little varied. Then, now that you know who you're going to be grabbing and how you're going to be converting them, how are you going to show them that you're different? Why are you different than any other agent they could have called, could have found, could have run into? If they meet you at an open house, how are you going to express to them, prove to them, show them that you are different? What differentiates you from everyone else? And this might be difficult for some of you to come up with. I get it. I understand. That doesn't mean you don't come up with it. That means you work harder at coming up with it. Because if you're not different, you're just like everybody else. If you're not different, you're not excellent, you're average. And if you're average, you're going to get average results. And I don't know about the whole country. I don't know the latest statistics. But I can tell you in the state of California, the average agent sells 1.8 homes per year. So if you want to be average and not work on this list, then continue to do so and get your 1.8 sales per year. Be different. How are you going to be different? If you're struggling with it, then strategize about it. Find somebody to talk to about it. Come up with a plan for it. But you have to be different. And then value. Back over here again. Value. How are you going to provide a high level of value, a high level of customer service, a high level of concierge support, a high level of ninja-ness, right? How are you going to provide that value? You need all four of those quadrants, all four of these quadrants filled in. When those are filled in, you, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, have a plan to follow, a GPS system to route you to success. The problem is a lot of you are unclear on these things. As you're listening to me right now, you're having a tough time coming up with what is differentiation. You're having a tough time coming up with how to provide value. How are you different than everybody else? What exactly are you going to do to convert the leads? You're going to send them a handwritten thank you card. You're going to call them 3 times. You're going to email them once every 2 weeks. How's that plan been working out for you? Right? How's that plan been working? Honestly, not well. Need a better plan. Work on it. All right? And how are you going to generate the leads? Maybe you need to consider generating leads in more ways than you currently are. Because whatever you're currently doing, if you like the results, that's fine. Keep doing it. It's working. It's awesome. It's the best thing since indoor plumbing and sliced bread. Okay? But if you don't like the results, then you must change the activity. You must change what you're doing to convert those leads. You must change what you're doing to generate those leads. You must change the values you offer. You must change the ways you differ from everybody else. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. That's your GPS. What time is it here? 12:20. So, not really interactive today. The way that I had scoped this out and the way I talked about this, I had a lot of stuff I wanted to get out. I'd hoped to get it out about 4 minutes sooner than I did, but I got to talking. And I got to rambling. So a little bit behind, but that's okay. There's like no hard cutoff time. I guess I can actually talk a couple minutes longer than I had originally put on the schedule here. Oh, by the way, sure looks really good from far away, by the way. You look at it up close and it's like modern art. You can barely make it out. I'll show you what I mean. Like there's all these words and everything in it, right? But from far away, it looks pretty cool. There's my National Park shirt of the week, Arches. The Arches National Park in Utah, part of the Mighty Five. Okay, so now the interaction part begins. questions about what I just wrote, sort of wrote, drew, and talked about. Questions about that. Please start asking your questions. And for those of you who don't have questions, because you know everything, for those of you who don't have questions, tell us about one thing that either differentiates you or is a value add, so that everybody else can see that. Because people have a tough time coming up with those two. Very uncreative, sometimes you real estate agents are, says Yoda. Right? So tell me, if one, ask a question. Two, give me something that either differentiates you or adds value that's unique for you. All right? And the value doesn't have to be unique. It can be something everybody else does too. Differentiation is different. Value is value. You have to do one of those three. So if you're on right now, you've either got to send me a question, give me value, or give me differentiation. Laura Ford, lead conversion definition of short-term, long-term. Okay, that's a good question. And how often should I revise this list? Both good questions. How often should you revise the list? I think the list needs to be revised as it needs to be revised. I know that's kind of a bullshit answer. But I got to write down short-term, long-term before you disappear off my screen, Laura. Everybody else, you should be typing right now. I know there's a bunch of you on here. There's a little icon that tells me how many are on there, right? So let's go. Get your stuff out there. Lolly, how often should you revise this list? As often as necessary. And the rate that things are changing, the pace at which they're changing, the way that our market is in constant flux and growth and innovation and disruption happening all around us, you might have to revise this list monthly for 3 months in a row, and then you might be able to let the list sit for 3 to 6 months and not do anything with it. And then you might have to change it on a weekly basis. I mean, it's really hard to tell. If what differentiated you today all of a sudden stops differentiating you and everybody else is doing the exact same stuff too, because they all want to be like Mike, they all want to be like you, Lolly, then you guys get the whole be like Mike old commercial, McDonald's, be like Mike, old Jordan. They all want to be like Mike, right? Then you're going to have to do something else to differentiate yourself, because that's no longer a differentiator. Having a team adds value, not just me. Oh, that's your value add. Having a team is a way to add value. Okay, Laura, I'm getting to you. Lolly, I'm very good with community of my church. Awesome. So only the women are so far typing. Good job, men. Jump in there anytime. All right, so Laura, short-term and long-term. Hot and not. It's kind of how I treat them. They're either hot or they're not. I differentiate people by looking in their eyes. Well, you got to type that again. It went too fast. People are typing now. I missed it. I like this idea. Bobby, my added value is being on Laura's team. No, try again. Give me another one. Good try, though. But you need more value than that. You need more differentiation than that, Bobby. Come up with what it is. All right, Laura, hot and not. They could be a seller, they could be a buyer. They're either hot or they're not. Meaning they're going to do something soon or not soon. Only two different criteria. My personal belief is it should be this. 90 days, longer. Under 90 days, longer than 90 days. Hot, not. And if you have a plan for both, and now sometimes the knots will all of a sudden become hots. And sometimes you're wrong, and the hots never end up doing anything, and you start to figure it out and become knots. So that list as well, Lolly, will have to change, have to be fluid. Sometimes they buy something, they close. They come off the hot list. If they close and they're a past client, they come off of the hot list. They go to the knot. They're not going to do anything in the next 90 days. They just did something with you yesterday. But they might do something again someday. So they go onto a not list, a follow-up list, a long-term, cultivate, stay in touch with them, get the next deal from them list. Look into their eyes and repeat. All right, so that's a skill, Walt, not really a differentiation probably, or a value add, although it's appreciated by them and it'll lead to good success. It's more of a skill to like be a Jedi and to be like a person and not like looking down and not making eye contact. Probably not a differentiation or a value add. Lucas, I think the value add is having a good presence and fantastic market knowledge and giving the appearance that you're always around and you're always doing something and you're always there, right? You know, people are like, wow, I think she might live in this neighborhood. If not, she's definitely in here every day doing something, he or she, right? And wow, that guy knows everything. He knows everything about every house, about every backyard, about all the history of all the sales that have occurred in here, right? Wow, that would be impressive. Fantastic market knowledge. Definitely a differentiator. Also, a value add, right? So trying to figure out where that goes. I get it, that gets confusing for you, guys and gals. But if both of the lists are full, maybe you don't need to worry about is it differentiation or value. If I can fill them both up, I know I got plenty of each. Might be a plan. Just saying. All right. What else? Anybody else have anything to add? Hey, no questions, by the way. Oh, one question. One question from Laura, so thank you for that. No other questions. Anybody have any questions for me as we get to wrap this up? I promised a giveaway today in social media, so I'm going to do that in just a second. Okay? And don't know if everybody has seen it. It's really hard to see it here, and even if you can see it, all the damn words are backwards, it seems like. Right, there is the Jumpstart most recent small printed out poster of all the speakers. Carlos, I missed it. Send it again, Carlos. I missed it. Being a certified residential specialist brings value. Okay, having designation, you can make that argument that it adds value, gives you extra training. I'll buy into that. Not a believer myself, but the general public is stupid, and they think it adds value, so therefore perception is reality. So I will 100% back you on that. Having me as your trainer, as your coach, as your strategist, I value. Well, thank you very much, Laurie. I appreciate it. All right, so Carlos, type that again because I lost it. Because I was too busy trying to fold this up so you guys can see everybody. Look at all the speakers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18, or up to 19 on the poster. Heads just keep appearing on this poster right now, everybody. This is going to be the greatest Jumpstart event we've ever had. I think I've done the math correctly, and it is, in fact, our 7th annual event. We got Jim Wahlberg, 71 years old, and he's going to be telling you how he gets double-digit deals every year from social media. 71 years old, and he's kicking most of your butts in social media. He's going to present his social media strategy playbook. Jeff Quinton going to be talking about what he has been doing for the last forever. Leslie Appleton Young is going to be leading a Woman Up panel. If you are a woman and you are a real estate agent in Southern California, you are not going to want to miss this, because this is all about empowering women and just women rocking, and you want to be there for this because Leslie does a great job with it. All right, and we got Kendall Young talking. She's going to be talking about customer service and ninja on things, right? Sam Real from $1 Million Listing LA and New York, talking about the luxury market. The Broke Agent, right? The comedian / entertainer. How long is the event in order to hear all the speakers? 2 days. So the event is going to be 2 days. It's going to be Monday the 29th and Tuesday the 30th of January. It's a 2-day event. Look at all the speakers. It is going to be fast and furious. All right? People on stage flying and giving ideas and sharing, and next, and people up on stage and giving ideas and sharing, and next. And man, I could go down this list and everybody get bored, because just go to the website. The website. I'll put it up there. Right? It's backwards, so that's not a whole lot of value, but there it is. Jumpstartyour2018.eventbrite.com, or you can just go to by Dan Smith, BY, dansmith.com, and the very first thing on there, conveniently, is the Jumpstart, and so that will be a link that you can click right into it, and you can read about what each one of the topics is going to be. You can see their bios are on there, who they are, what they do. It's going to have what each one of their topics or panels or Q&As is going to be about. Yeah, I know, it seems like you're going to need a week, right? But it's not. We are going to be fast and furious. Everyone's going to get between 20 and 35 minutes, depending on I've set up the time. It's been like a jigsaw puzzle putting people together. So get involved in this. You're not going to want to miss this event. It's going to be literally the best event in Southern California. Oh, and check this out. I have a money-back guarantee. If you don't feel, you come for both days, you're like, I sat here for 2 days, I don't think I got value. You go to the customer service table, you say, I don't believe I got value, I'd like to take advantage of the money-back guarantee. We will give you the money back that you paid for the ticket, and we will give you a $50 bill. I'll give you the money back that you paid for the ticket, and I will give you a $50 bill. Well, not me, but customer service. All you've got to say is, I don't feel that I got value over the 2 days. I'd like to take advantage of the money-back guarantee, no questions asked. Right? I am that confident that you are going to get value. I'm not only putting your money on the line that I would have to give back to you, but I'm putting some of my own money on the line, which I would have to give back to you. I am 100% confident that you are going to get value if I'm offering that, aren't I? These heads are going to continue to get filled in. I'm going to run out of room. I'm not going to be able to get all the heads on here. It's cold calling, FSBOs, past client, cold caller, one way of lead generation. That's all one way. That's prospecting, my friend. All one way. Can I handle objections in the customer service table? No, that's more of a skill. That's more probably of a skill. I don't think that gets you leads. That would be under lead conversion, probably, to be honest. Okay? So, here we go. Get involved. Go to the website. You're not going to want to miss it. Awesome, awesome opportunity. And money back guarantee. By the way, if you are in the military, active or retired, if you are a first responder and you happen to have the days off and you're also in real estate and you want to come, tickets for you are free. Just send me an email, let me know. Thank you for your service. We will send those tickets out to you for free. All right, so the giveaway, let's get that done real quick. Jesse, just logging in. Glad to have you, Jesse. Jesse's going to be one of our panelists, actually, at the event. The giveaway, my book is backwards, but I think you all know what it is. I'm going to give away a book today, Failing Greatly. I will sign it for you. I will write something very nice in it for you, and then I will mail it out to you. Speaking about the event. Sorry about that, Lucas. You're speaking about the event. So, now I've got to decide who gets the book. So, first person right now who comes on the screen, who doesn't already have a copy of the book, who wants the book, Lolly wins. Didn't even get through my spiel, and she did it. So, Lolly, I need you to text me. Here's my phone number for text. 949-514-5334. I need you to send me a text with your mailing address. All right? And then I will send a copy of the book out to you. All right, everybody, so there's the giveaway for this week. If you haven't yet, please go down right now and hit the share button in the bottom of the corner so that even since this is over, somebody can go back and watch it. Really helps me out, right? Because more people find out about this, more people come on, more people get involved. So please, please, please go down there and hit that share button. By the way, I know if you hit the share button. So I know to be like, oh, that's really cool that they hit the share button. And because they were on here. I also know who was on here. And then if I know that you didn't hit the share button, then I'm like, oh, what a jerk off. They didn't hit the share button. Not really. Kind of really. I'll leave it up to you to decide. All right, so 949-514-5334, Lolly. If you don't get it this time, you just got to go back and listen to the live because it'll be posted in a couple of minutes. And I'll send this out to you. Everybody else, please tell everybody you know about the Jumpstart that's going on, and get involved. That'd be fantastic. It's you miss this, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, you cannot afford to miss this event. 2 of the best days you will spend all of 2018. Get in front of it. Get it done right now. Okay. This is something you can't miss. That's the bottom line. You can't miss it. Okay. Get involved. If you guys need anything, send me an email, dan@bydansmith.com. If you have ideas for the show, dan@bydansmith.com. If you want to follow me on any social media platform known to man, it's pretty much by Dan Smith. All right? Find me on Facebook, find me on Instagram, find me on Snapchat, find me on, I don't actually put anything up there really, but I am there. Find me on LinkedIn, find me on anything and everything you can think of. By Dan Smith. Thank you very much for being here. Next week, same time, same place, noon Pacific Standard Time. We'll be doing another segment. I look forward to having you here. For everybody who participated, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Last reminder, please go down there and hit the share button. If you have not yet, please share this information with those in your other offices and those around you. If you haven't gotten your own ticket, you need to get it, because if you don't, you're missing out. That's all I can say. All right? Thank you, everybody. Have a good one.